Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF, and I am bringing you a super fun, super interactive card using Snowman Season. So the reason I'm using Snowman Season, is that I currently have an online class and I want to feature at least one more card using the Snowman Season. So this class is available. It's in collaboration with Tiffany Almeida of Pretty in Paper Crafts in the US. And our collaboration is called Pretty AF, which is just awesome. Pretty in Paper Crafts and Stamped AF, so Pretty AF. And all the details about this class can be found on my website, stampedaf.ca. You will receive the cardstock and materials to make 3 each of 4 cards, 2 designed by yours truly and 2 designed by Tiffany. And you will have exclusive Facebook demonstrations on how to make them. So there was a bonus card on my blog that I will share as well. And you won't get the supplies for either the bonus card or this one, but this does stretch your stamping dollar so that you've got more that you can create. So this technique is not new. I was actually watching a Jennifer McGuire video to get the deets on how to make this, so I'm hoping that I can recreate it as easily as the first one was. But it is an interactive slider card. So up comes the little snowman. Isn't he cute? So I think next time, or this time, we're going to make the tab just a little bit longer because although it works for here, I mean, it sticks out just enough, but it can be awkward to grab hold of it. So super cute. And then we've got a little sentiment on the inside, hoping the season builds heartwarming memories. So let's get our craft on. So there are a few things that you need in order to make this card. One, obviously, is the Snowman Season bundle. So that is the Snowman Season stamp set and the Snowman Builder Punch. We need both of those. We need the Cuckoo for You bundle. Actually, we really just need the dies. And from what I understand from Onstage, there is a punch that's coming out that may help us with this type of card. But this is what we need. Foam strips. I have gone ahead and cut out a couple of the pieces that we need. So this is a pool party card base. It is 4 by 5.5. I want it to cover pretty much the full length. I have die cut this circle from the largest stitch circle and the 3rd largest of the circles. So this one here, and then this middle one, and then I used the 2nd largest over here to cut from the pool party base. So if we turn this around, there is kind of like a mat all around it, and we're going to adhere it so that it's like that. We need the Swirls and Curls embossing folder. This part is optional. So we need that. We need a Stampin' Spritzer because I am finding that this will crack my cardstock. We need a scrap of Whisper White. We need a strip of Coastal Cabana. You need a little bit of a plastic Ziploc bag. And this is basically, as Jennifer McGuire calls it, the belt. So this is what's going to allow our mechanism. This is what's going to create our mechanism. We need a piece of DSP, and this is the Let It Snow DSP. And then this is the die from the Cuckoo for You bundle that we're using. So it just cuts out 2 little slots. We need a top folding A2 card base. We are going to use the hat from the DSP, so we'll punch that out. Actually, let's get that out of the way now, and then that's one less thing on my desk. Now you could just cut out a little piece of this so that you're not wasting a whole bunch, but I'm not concerned. So there's our hat. So we can get that piece out. Okay. We need a piece of soft suede to punch out our arms. We'll get that out of the way and then we can put our punch away. There we go. Hat, arms. Actually, we can't put our punch away yet. Let's stamp our snowman and then we can put this away. So I'm using Memento for this. It's not necessary. There's very little bit of coloring on this. When I did it initially, I was going to use the arms, but I decided to punch them from soft suede. So now we can punch this out. And we'll let our snowman sit for a few minutes so that it doesn't run if I try coloring it. Okay, so now we can, this DSP, now that we are ready to cut, is 3 3/4 by 5. And I've just placed the die kind of in the middle, centered top to bottom and left to right. Okay, so pop that off and you'll see that it's just 2 little notches. Can you see my finger right there and then right down here? So that's all that does, but that is a crucial part of this. You could do it with an X-Acto knife, but if you have this bundle already, then it's perfect. And if you don't have this bundle already, you should get it because it's amazing. And it coordinates with Yummy Christmas. Okay, so we are ready with that. Let's emboss our cardstock to get this out of the way. So I'm just going to spritz this off screen. A couple spritzes. You can do one side, you can do both sides, and then just put that in there. You can set that aside to dry for a few moments as well. And then we'll get our mechanism going. This card really does look complex, but it's not so bad. Okay, so now we are going to, if I haven't said, this is a 1/4 inch wide. The length doesn't matter all that much yet. We're gonna just thread that through. And you don't want it super tight. So what we're going to do now, in Jennifer's video, she had suggested the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher, but you can also use like tear and tape. So that is what we are going to do. I'm just going to put a little piece at the end. Press that down. Of course, this is more difficult to do while I'm filming. Okay, and now, remember, not too taut, not too tight. I don't know if it's tight or taut in this instance. Okay, so there we are. Now we can cut this excess off. And our mechanism will move, which is a little difficult to see right now. So what we want to do is we want to have this piece at the top. So this is the back side. So right now the tape part is at the top. We're going to take our snowman. We're going to put a piece of tear and tape on the front at the bottom. And before we attach this, let's just color it a little bit. There's nothing fancy to this coloring. Give it some cheeks. Light pool party, we'll just do a little bit of shading. Do as much or as little as you'd like. And now we'll peel this off. And we'll pop him on there. So now that will move. It may take a bit to get it moving easily. That is because it's just gone on to that little notch. Okay, so we can add a little bit of glue for the hat. Whoops. Add a little bit to the back of the arms or the front of the arms. So while I'm doing this, the registration for the Pretty AF class is open until November 30th. We've given 2 weeks to register for this class. It's a good long time. There we go. Now he pops all the way up. It's a little tricky going back down, but that is because I have part of a seam here. There we go. This will move around easier, I hope. Okay, so the next thing we can do is glue our circle on here. And we are going to glue as close as we can to the outside. Okay, so where that adhesive was on the bottom side, we're going to add another piece so that we can add our cardstock pull. And it is important to test it every bit of the way to make sure that it still works, because you don't want to get to the end and have it not work. Now the reason this keeps sticking is because I have a bit of adhesive on the back. Okay, so now it's going smooth. And what we need to do is use our foam strips to basically give ourselves some channels to lock that in there. So you want to put it fairly close without touching. You need a little bit of wiggle room. There we go. And now we're going to put it all over the back of this so that it's at the same height for the whole thing. Also want to put a little bit at the top so that it doesn't go any further. So think of this really as guides. Now I would say you could use dimensionals after you get those guides in, but the foam strips are a little bit thicker than dimensionals. So you would have differing heights, and I don't think you want that. It's not crucial to seal up any gaps. You're not creating a shaker card here. It's just to keep it from sagging. Okay, so now we can put this on our card base. Okay, so we know we want it to at least come to there. So cut it about there. And you'll notice on my first one, I had a bit of a little flagged end. I used the tailored tag punch, so we will do that. I don't have a whole lot of room on this one because I cut it shorter the last time. So this time maybe we'll use the classic little punch and see if that works. There we go, and then we can just notch off those extra little bits. There we go. So I've just cut a little 2 by 3 inch piece of the sparkle glimmer paper, and all you need to do is just cut yourself a snowbank. Nothing to it. Now if you want it a little more perfect than that, you can use the dies from the Winter Woods stamp set. It does give you a snowbank. Okay, let that sit. Actually, let's push it up a little further. And if you want to be sure that it's going to stay put, just use some washi tape. The glimmer paper does take some time to dry, so for the sake of this video, let's just keep it like that. Now, this one is a little bit higher than the first one, so instead of hiding in that snowbank, he's going to pop out of the frame, which he probably won't do until I properly adhere this. But there we go, he's kind of jumping out of the snowbank. So it really depends on where you put this, where you die cut your slots. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm putting the dimensionals on here, and it is because I made a boo-boo on my sample and I started putting them on the back here. Well, this is wider than this, and I had dimensionals that were like hanging off the edge, so this is the best way to ensure that they are going where I want them to. Okay, so there we go. Now, if you noticed, there were a couple of little sequins and rhinestones that I put on this one, and that's because it just had the starry or the snowy sky. This one has all these trees in here, so I don't think we need a whole lot, but we will put a little snowflake like I did on the first one. And I do like to try and keep it to one stamp set when I'm designing, but in this instance, this one was just too cute not to use. So the 2 Every Season bundle has 3 of all of the sizes of all of these shapes. They all contain a punch, that typically cuts out the smallest one. And you would think that that was the one I used. I mean, it is the smallest punch, right? But I actually used the largest one. So we just need a scrap of Whisper White, and we'll use some Pool Party. Stamp that on there. Use our little itty bitty punch. And then which way did I do it? I did it that way. And then you end up with no real white border the way you do with the small one. And look, isn't it cute? These little punches are just so adorable. You need Coastal Cabana for the sentiment. So feel free to use any snowflake or dye or embellishment there. That one is so cute. So we want a little bit of glue on there. And using the holiday rhinestones, we're going to use one of these, which I'm guessing is Pool Party. It looks like aquamarine, which is my birthstone, so yay. And then I think, let's just use a couple. We'll cover up a couple of these little, I guess, snowflakes on here. 1, 2, and 3. Let's move this one over. I don't want it to interfere with his hand. Dun, 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 dun. It's sliding fine. I'm just trying to see what I can do about this one hand. It's so cute. Now, as a final step on the front, we're going to add some Wink of Stella to his hat, his arms, and his nose. You could add it to the whole thing. We are going to use some Frost White shimmer paint on the whole front. So we'll just give that a couple spritzes off screen. There we go, and then we're ready for the inside. So using Coastal Cabana, open that up, and I've got my sentiments right here. I'm using Hoping This Season Builds Heartwarming Memories. So we'll just stamp that in the middle. And then the snowflakes that come in this bundle, just stamp them off. And there we go. Isn't that cute? So that is my first of likely 3 projects this week using the Snowman Season Bundle. And like I said, the Pretty AF class to go is live for registration. So if you would like to get your hands on that kit, then just head on over to stampedaf.ca. There is a link to my Google form. You will fill that out and I will send you a PayPal invoice. Kits will ship. Registration closes on November 30th, so the kits will ship about a week and a half later. And that is all. So let me give you a closer peek of them. So that was my sample. Very shiny. I did put glitter on the back of that one. And this one's a little less glittery, nonetheless cute. Okay, so if you need any of the supplies to make this or any other project using Stampin' Up! Supplies and you are not yet working with a demonstrator, I would love to fill that role for you. Please do consider hitting that subscribe button below. I drop a new video, at least one new video, usually 2 each and every week. And I'm trying to get to my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can start doing some fun stuff like YouTube Lives and a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah. If you would like a discount on your Stampin' Up! Supplies, consider joining my team. If you live in Canada, you will get a minimum of 20% off your own supplies. You can build a business, you can do it just for yourself. It's totally up to you. If you have any questions, just email me at stampedaf@gmail.com, and we'll see you again soon, my friends. Bye.